You know those moments when something feels off, but you can't quite put your finger on why? That's exactly how this story begins. I was 17, just a regular kid trying to get home from the gym on a cold Sunday evening. The kind of evening where your breath freezes in front of your face, and the world feels eerily quiet. I'd missed my regular bus, and my parents were out for the evening. A taxi would have cost a fortune, so I decided to wait it out at the bus shelter. Little did I know, that simple decision would lead to one of the most terrifying experiences of my life. If you've ever been alone at a bus stop at night, you know that strange feeling of vulnerability, like you're on display in a glass box, visible to everyone while the darkness hides whatever or whoever might be watching you. The snow had just started falling, those tiny flakes that look beautiful in the streetlights, but make everything feel somehow muffled. I'd been waiting for almost an hour, just me and my music, when I caught something in my peripheral vision that made my stomach drop. A figure, bundled in layers of thick clothing, was walking towards the shelter. Something about their movement was wrong, like watching a marionette being pulled by invisible strings. You know that instinct that screams danger before your conscious mind can process why. Yeah, that one was blaring like a fire alarm. If you're watching this, drop a comment below if you've ever had that gut feeling about someone. That primal instinct that something just isn't right. I did what most of us do in these situations. Pretended to be absorbed in my phone, trying to make myself as small and uninteresting as possible. But he sat down at the other end of the shelter, and I could feel his eyes on me, like physical weight pressing against my skin. "When is the bus due?" His voice was raspy, slurred. Either drunk or high, neither option was comforting. I removed my earphones, kept my voice steady. "I think it's delayed because of the snow." That's when things got weird. He started mumbling to himself, and every time I glanced away, he'd slide closer, inch by inch, like some twisted game of red light, green light. "You okay there?" I finally asked. His response? Those glossy, unfocused eyes fixed on me as he reached out with one arm. I grabbed my bag and ran, just ran, heart pounding, feet slipping on the snow, not daring to look back. I made it to the next bus stop, finally feeling safe enough to catch my breath. That's when I made the mistake that still gives me nightmares. I leaned my head back against the glass of the new shelter. And there he was, standing right behind me, staring through the glass with those empty eyes. "What the hell is wrong with you?" I screamed, but he was already moving around the shelter, coming for me. I was trapped. My bag was still inside, and I couldn't leave without it. What happened next happened so fast. He lunged at me like a wild animal, but I managed to dodge. He hit the ground face first, hard. Blood began pooling around his head, and suddenly I wasn't scared anymore. I was terrified for a completely different reason. In his wallet, they found a photo. A photo of him and his son, who looked just like me. This man wasn't a predator. He was a broken father who had lost his son in a custody battle and completely lost himself in the process. The glossy eyes, prescription drugs, the mumbling. He was probably talking to who he thought was his son. Sometimes the scariest monsters aren't monsters at all. They're just people who've lost too much. I got my driver's license shortly after that night, and I've never taken a bus since. Some experiences you just can't shake. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more true horror stories. And remember, sometimes the real horror isn't in what happens to us, but in realizing how easily any of us could become the very thing that scares others.